My name is Mike Phelan from Shrewsbury, Massachusetts, and this is my wife, Terry.
Weather. We've been in Massachusetts for 35 years. We wanted a community that was a true neighborhood, someplace we knew our kids would love to come and visit.
Yeah, we were caregiving for my mom and my aunt. That kind of occupied the last 4 or 5 years of our lives, but we always had a desire to get out of New England, at least for an extended period of time. We have friends that own a home in Sea Pines, and so we were brought down to Hilton Head literally on vacation, and then we started to visit some of the communities here and settled on Colleton River because of the golf and just the beauty of this place is spectacular.
And fell in love with Colleton River because of the neighbors. We've had the most amazing experience with the people in this neighborhood. So when we found the house, we bought the house in July. And we loved the house, we loved the bones of the house, we loved the view of the house. And so we wanted to be able to maybe do a few updates. The kitchen, our master bathroom. So we started looking for a contractor. And most everybody thought the project was just kind of small because there's a lot of building going on in this area. There's like 70 houses being built in the rest of the neighborhood at that time. I got in touch with Ryan, actually through a guy I had come in to look at doing some painting. And he said, I could probably do this, but I think you need somebody capable of doing a bigger job. Ryan called me right back, right away, came right out to the house. We just had a good connection from the very start. It was just good.
Our experience is interesting. You know, when you move to an area like this, you would be wise to maybe rent a property, get to know the community, and then you know what the network is. Well, we had a strong desire to want to, find the right house. And as Terry said, we were here visiting Colleton on a member experience when this particular house came available
to buy.
Yeah. You don't see this house repeated in Colleton, which is something I really like. But it needed kind of Mike and Terry's update or refresh, if you will.
Make it our own.
We started dialing for contractors, some by word of mouth, some simply just looking online. And I would say the booming build here has been pretty spectacular. And so some of the larger builders, this was just not the project they want to do. They'd much rather build a brand new home. And then we had some folks that were interested, but were honest with us and said the scale of what we're trying to do is a little bit outside of their comfort zone. When Ryan came, it was like, yes, we can do this and we can do that. And then there was a little bit of spark of, I think, creativity, a little bit of synergy between the three of us. I remember talking to Terry after we met with Ryan, and I said, I've just got a good feeling that this is the right temperament and the right kind of person to represent, this big project for us.
So that the kitchen and master bathroom project, as we went to do the master bathroom, it was something that no inspector and no previous owner could possibly have known about. We found pipes that were brittle and they were snapping, which said, probably like that through the whole house. Do it now or do it later. So we looked at you guys and said, so what do you think? Let's do it. And that was kind of the whole attitude through the whole project. It was like, can we do this? Yes, we can. So when we recognized the bathroom, this situation, then we said, well, if we've got to do this, here's where we're going to go. We need to take the walls that were textured, are all going to have holes in them from all the plumbing coming out. Now we can go smooth walls, because we had a kind of the orange peel type texture that now is a smooth texture, and the stucco texture on the ceilings.
We did a similar project to our home up in Massachusetts. It's funny how quickly you forget what a renovation project really entails, because once you sort of pull stuff off, you realize that there's stuff behind the walls and there's things you need to do. I remember talking to the project lead when they were trying to plaster the holes that were made, and it was just going to be this incredibly laborious and expensive process. It was financially more prudent to just put new walls in. We came into the house one day and you could walk from the hallway and you could see all the way through to the next neighbor's house. So that was a little stressful, to be very honest. The good thing about working with Bluffton builders has been doing a renovation is always like a couple of steps forward and a half step backwards. And those half step backwards can be challenging because it's unexpected. But I never got the feeling that all the issues that we encountered couldn't be overcome. When we moved down here, we were given the impression, because it's the low country, that things are slower, and it could be no farther from the truth, because we found this to be an ongoing active engagement. We were never waiting. In fact, our biggest miscalculation was not setting ourselves up for housing while the project was being renovated. Fortunately, our neighbors in the area gave us access to their home so we could literally walk across the street.
There was another person that was really happy about this project too when it got bigger, and that was Pauline. So our designer from Massachusetts, and like mentioned, we just had done a redesign up there. She said she'd come down and be a part of this, and she worked great with Bluffton Builders and was very connected with you guys from via FaceTime or flying down. And so nobody was happier than to say, I get to do more bathrooms.
I found that there was great creativity amongst everyone. When we saw an opportunity to maybe tweak something between the Bluffton building team, Pauline, our designer, Terry's insight. We usually had, everybody come together with a pretty good solution.
It didn't take long to kind of figure it out and make it happen.
Yeah.
I mean, so the refrigerator doesn't go there. Could we open the wall? Yeah. Can we make a pantry back there? Yeah.
Well, listen, the experience with Bluffton Builders was terrific. I think integrity is the ultimate line, and there's lots of starts and stops, and there's lots of issues that happen when you do a pretty comprehensive renovation. But the ability for those guys to work with us,
to pivot
and to be reasonable and to accept responsibility for things that maybe got off the track, and then come with some creative ideas on things that could enhance the house, it was awesome. And so we have no regrets. And we have said to many, many neighbors, if you're going to do a renovation, we would encourage you to talk to Bluffton Builders.
Absolutely.
Because they did a great job for us.
Yeah, it was a good experience.